Back on the action here, you know we're going to bring this weight rod setup to you, but we just had a triple here. We're fighting a big fish right here. We got another one coming across the center. What we have to be careful of here is that these lines don't cross. We're going to move this rod up and out of the way. Keep the rod tips high, keep your anglers separated at the back of the boat, and watch the angle of attack on those lines as they're working in here on Lake Ontario. Remember, when lines cross at the back of the boat, friction is the angler's enemy. Slow her down, Chris. Lines touch, and it doesn't take very much to break them. So if you suspect a tangle, you want to back your drag off. You want to look at which way that line's around the other one. Unknot it, knit one, purl two, come back up on your drag so that the line doesn't get jeopardized. Two good browns here. Ronnie's is coming here on the right, and the other one is working deep underneath it. Ron, keep your rod tip to the right. Rod tip up just a little bit. This is a big brown that we've got right here. Big brown. I'm gonna pull some gear here and move it. Big brown. All right, I want you to come up the side of the boat some more. Go up the side of the boat. Easy, easy. Huge brown, Chris. Easy. Stay right tight to the side of the boat. Wind down. Easy, neutral. Wind down again. When I tell you to raise your rod tip, don't point at it, buddy. Give me a little bend in the rod. Wind down again, wind. All right, stop winding, raise them up. Raise your rod tip, back up, raise your rod tip, back up. Stop, raise your rod. Got him. Forward, big, stop winding. Stop winding, strip me some line. No, grab it right in front and pull it. There you go, perfect. All right, now, forward, Chris, give me some speed. Classic dual duty spoon here. Let's take a look at it. Right there's the purple clown. Awesome brown trout lure. But one of the things that's also fantastic about that is if there's a king or an Atlantic in skinny water during the spring of the year, it's a guarantee that they're going to find that spoon in your pattern. Now let's take a look at this rod. Go ahead and lay that rod right down on the ground. Big old football brown right here. I'm just going to get them up. What I'd like you to do with your right hand, size of that Lake Ontario brown. He is a slammer coming on the shoreline just west of Bear Creek. What do you think, buddy boy?
I think it's a great catch or a great brown trout.
That is a good one.
Yes.
Now we can add this to the other stories the fellas were telling about you.
Oh, yeah. You got that right.
Oh. Big browns here early in the spring on the shores of Lake Ontario. South prevailing wind today. Working in skinny water, 6-7 feet. Taking them right on the deck with the Saiff Charter. Had a lot of private messages on Facebook and a lot of emails. When I requested that you send in what you wanted to see in these technical segments, everybody wanted clarification on the weight rod system and how the Saiff Charter fleet uses that to engage brown trout when we're trolling the shoreline of Lake Ontario. Well, today's day number 1, and we're back in the water here just west of Pulteneyville, and loaded on the weight rod is a Caddyshack. This is one of the hottest spoons that we ran in the Michigan Stinger lineup back in 2015, and you'll notice that I got this just loaded on a 7.5 foot really light medium action fiberglass Daiwa rod, and I'm still running because I'm old school on the weight rods down the side of the boat. Just a simple old Daiwa 27 base reel. But what's cool about this reel is that they're bulletproof. Stainless steel, good ball bearings in them, tough, never let you down when you're fighting big fish. The drawback, not a real fast gear ratio on that reel. But fighting big browns at the back of the boat, these things are going to work for you great. Now, it doesn't have a line counter, so let's not freak out. If we count each pass of the pawl across the face of the reel, we know on this particular reel that it's 6 feet. So in my planer board setup in the springtime, if I'm running 3 rods on the outside is at 150 feet, the number 2 rod's at 140, the number 3 rod is at 130. So when I'm going down the edge of the prop wash with the weight rods, I want to be at 110 or 120 feet, just inside those planer board rods and right down the prop wash, because all all veteran brown trout fishermen know that those fish are attracted to that, and you'll catch a lot of your slab browns right in the edge of that prop wash. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to drop that Caddyshack into the water. We're going to pay it back 10 passes of the reel, or 60 feet. Once we get to 60 feet, all we're doing, and this is incredibly simple, is we pinch a split shot on the line. So pretend that we're out 60 feet, 10 passes. I'm just going to take that tiny little split shot that I've got right there, and what I use is a 1/4 ounce, drop it in there, just very, very lightly pinch it on the line. It gets it down just a little bit deeper out of the surface clutter and into the edge of that prop wash. Instead of that spoon running at 2 feet, it's probably running at 4 feet. But those browns will annihilate that. As this comes up the line, you stop 2 inches from the tip of your rod, take that off. The angler winds it the rest of the way in. You put that big brown in the box. Now, why are we running a spoon in that combination? Because of the hooks. It's as simple as that. You fish stick baits in rough, turbid water. Those browns are trying to hunt and trying to seek out that disturbance or that action, that shake of that body bait. But the 2-hook baits and the 3-hook baits gaff so many browns, now you got an underwater planer board tangling everything that you have. You hook them on a spoon like this and you bring them to the dinner table. It's as simple as that. You wonder why you see so many browns over 10 pounds in the Saiff Charter fleet? Simple. Spoons. You got a quality hook on the back. You hang that like a meat hook around the jawbone, and when that 10, 12, 15, 18, or even 20-pound brown starts thrashing in the prop wash, unless you break a line, chances are that fish is coming to the net. Tiny little wire hooks on a Junior Thunder stick or a Pella, probably not going to get it done. The other thing that I would suggest that you do, regardless of what line you choose for your carrying line, we're going to run a 15-pound test fluorocarbon tippet that's 7 feet long back to the spoon. And what we've got tied in line here is just a tiny little Spro swivel, and it's so small that when a big brown gets to the back of the boat, an angler can actually crank that seamlessly through the eyelet of the rod, so you never have to stop. Once you get that fish coming up the prop wash, you just keep working them into the net, and then we tell the customer to stop, and as they stop, they raise the rod tip and start backing up in the boat, so the actual speed of progress that brown's making towards the transom never changes. We call that hypnotizing the fish, and we slide them right into the nylon. Next thing you know, that big trophy brown is yours, it's in the cooler, and you're the person who's smiling in the pictures. I'm Captain Bill Saiff III. That's your tip on weight rods and how we put big browns in the basket.